Muted. It was all right.
We unmuted?
We good now.
Greetings and salutations, everybody.
What's the word?
We are stranded in Miami.
Oh, the horror.
We are stranded in Miami, man. It's been a crazy week. Crazy week. We were supposed to fly out to New York today, but if you live in the New York region, you know that it's a blizzard and it's going to continue to tomorrow. So they canceled all flights until Thursday. We will not be leaving Miami until Thursday, but
Show goes on.
There's worse things that can happen.
Yeah. Every time I said, yo, I'm stranded, they said, look, what better place to be stranded than Miami?
Yeah,
so we're not going to complain. I'm not going to complain about this 55-degree night. They're saying sun tomorrow, so I guess we should be happy.
Yeah, for sure. So
prayers up to everybody in New York, though. Everybody be safe, man.
Stay safe. Don't leave the house if you don't have to. It looks nasty out there. I'm seeing some pictures and videos from friends and family, people on my timeline, and I feel like I might not ever come back, man. I don't know.
So, Jordan, Christian, I love you. I miss you. I'm doing work though. I'm working for y'all.
Yeah. So first and foremost, shout out to everybody that's been showing us love while we was out here, man. We've had some legendary situations. Some of them you probably already seen.
They couldn't wait to show.
Some of them you might not have seen yet, but we got some great content that has come out of this trip. We are going to be here for another 3 days.
Time out. Can we talk about how you flamed that Joe Budden podcast? Can we get some flames from my brother right now?
Shout out to Joey, man.
Can we get some flames from my bro right now? Yo, man, it was a monumentous moment. I'm so proud of him, man. You killed it.
I appreciate that.
My guy.
Shout out to Joey, man. Shout out to Maul. Shout out to Rory. Shout out to the whole team, man. Shout out to everybody, man, involved. Shout out to Corey, first and foremost.
Shout out to Corey.
And Joe, good dude, man. We met up with him when Ian was in New York. Me, you, Ian, Matt, Jury, and we chopped it up for a couple hours about stocks, about ownership, about business, about just sharing game. And they hit me last Thursday, I think it was, or Friday.
Yeah. And
was like, yo, can you come on the show for a little bit and talk about this situation that's been going on with GameStop and all that? So I said, yeah, no problem. So came on there. We got it done, and the reaction, the feedback has been crazy. So shout out to Joe Budden for extending the invitation. It was an honor. It was an honor for that.
Yeah. And Corey, we definitely gonna link, bro. I'm sometime this week. We're gonna have sit down and have that Zoom session for sure. So anybody that wanna get a part of that, your team over there at Joe Budden Network, let me know, and we can set that up, man. Because there's no fun if everybody doesn't get to play a part in this. So shout out to y'all, man, for reaching out.
Shout out all of our podcast friends that check us out. Shout out to Weezy and Mandy. Shout out to Corey. Shout out to Joe Budden. Shout out to 85 South. Shout out to
the
Chad.
Bros. Spoke to Chad today.
Yeah, shout out to the whole team over there. We got a lot of friends within the podcast space, and we're all working together.
Shout out to Dave Shands, Social Proof podcast, man. One of the biggest shows out there, man. It's doing really, really well. I need everybody to keep supporting that. Go listen to it. We need to run up the charts. Speaking of charts.
Yeah.
Speaking of charts,
Earn Your Leisure, number 4 right now on Business Charts. Market Mondays, number 14. We got 2 shows in the top 15. Unprecedented.
Don't let that go over your head. That's because of y'all.
Unheard of. So yeah, let's get both of those to 1 and 2 respectively. So yeah, we're gonna bring Ian in. We're gonna bring Ian on in a minute. He's getting dressed right now. He gotta put his suit on. He gotta put his his tie and cufflinks on and all that. So while Ian's getting dressed, working out the backstage scenery for it, we're gonna give you the rundown on Earn Your Leisure this week. We have a really, really dope episode tomorrow. It's actually good that Ian's not on right now. He won't hear us say this. We're doing Forex tomorrow. Shout out to Justin Owens. We're doing Forex. You never thought the day would come, right? We're doing a Forex episode and crypto. Forex and crypto both.
Yeah.
A double in one. 2 for 1. So the first half of the episode is Forex. Second half of the episode is crypto.
Yeah.
So
we're very lucky.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Forex is actually the biggest market in the financial space. Credit is number 2. It's a huge industry. Most people have partaken. Aren't exchange of currency. We are doing that tomorrow. That's going to be a big one. Everybody has been asking for that over years. Hopefully all the bots on Instagram can stop flooding our comments now. And cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, XRP, Litecoin, all of that stuff. We talked about crypto a lot. So we're going to do an episode on crypto as well. So that's tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for all podcast outlets and YouTube. And then Wednesday, we have a class for EYL University about charts, stock charts. So EYL University, we told you we're going to do more investments this year. So stock charts 101, walk you through the process. You get to ask questions, stop and go. It's going to be a whole tutorial classroom. So that's EYL University. That's Wednesday. And then on Thursday, Matt has a class for house hacking webinar, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's for Home Buyer Blueprint and anybody at EYL University. And then Ash Cash. So we got the network, EYL Network. EYL Network is a podcast network. Market Mondays is the first show on EYL Network. Dave Shan, Sleepers for Suckers on EYL Network. And our brother Ash Cash is the newest member of EYL Network. His show will be exclusively on Earn Your Leash's YouTube channel, and it will be on all podcast outlets. It comes out 8 o'clock on Thursday. Inside the Vault. Inside the Vault, he's going to interview the biggest names in entertainment, sports, entrepreneur, business, and he's going to, do what Ash Cash does and be a superstar. So Earn Your Leisure is a full-blown network now. We have EYL Network. We're looking for talent. We are producing shows, and we are bringing Black excellence to the forefront.
Yeah,
so
it's Black History Month. We make history every day, right? We don't need the shortest month of the year to tell us that we need to make history. We're going to make it every day. So Social Proof podcast, obviously, is the second show, but Inside the Vault, man. If y'all know Ash Cash, you know the energy he's bringing, and we just wanted to tap into that energy and link up with him. And it's a good play on it, man. It's inside the entrepreneur's mind, right? From the business world to the world of entertainment, really inside their mind. So it's a little double entendre there. So the scenery is great, the set is amazing, and the content is even better. And we're just so happy to have him on the team, man. So shout out to Ash, for sure.
Shout out to Ash, man. So yeah, EYL University is the move. EYL Network is the move. I'll put the link in for EYL University, currently 50% off. The promo has been extended. I'll put it in there. If you're interested, you can click the link. So let's get into it right on time. We had to give him a couple of minutes to get what's going on.
The good brother's here with us.
I'm good. How you feeling? Brother? Thank you, man.
Feeling great, man.
Miami looking good over there, man. Y'all getting up with Khaled later? We the best.
That's the same thing. Joe said. We finished the interview with Joe. Afterwards, he was like, "Yo, that looks amazing out there." Yeah. So,
how you feeling, man? How's Houston?
I'm good, man. I wish I was out there with y'all. And Matt, I know wish you was out there too. So let's reconvene. Call an audible. Let's get together. So I'm good, man. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Just a week ago, we were sitting together, man. I feel like that was months ago.
I missed it. That was a vibe.
Yeah, man. We're gonna do more of that for sure.
Yeah, soon.
Very soon we have to.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I mean, we gave our introduction. So I guess we could just say the disclaimer, and then we could just hand it to Ian.
Yeah, let's do it. So the disclaimer: do your own research. These words are brought to you by EYL and the good brother Ian Dunlap, the master investor. Our content is intended to be used and must be used for informational purposes only. It's very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with, or independently research and verify any information that you find on our show and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. Please do your homework. Please do your research. This word was brought to you by the good folks at Earn Your Leisure and the master investor, Ian Dunlap himself.
I appreciate y'all.
4,700 on the check-in. Let's try to run this up to 10,000. I think.
Yeah, so we can do the giveaway. If we get to 10,000, I'll do a $2,500 gift card for Stockpile. I'll give away one Stock Club annual membership worth $5,000, and Apex is closed. But when I was selling it, it was at $25,000. So if we get 10,000, we're gonna give some stuff away. So I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, let's get to 10,000 live viewers. Hit the like button, share, and let's get it going. Let's get it going. All right, Ian, the floor is yours.
Yeah, real quick before they do, I want to try and keep our continuity from last week since I can't vibe and mess with the microphone. You want to talk about SPCE real quick? Elon being on Clubhouse, and then any of the magical topics you want to talk about before I dive in, because I don't want to like hog the mic. I'm trying to be a good ball player, a good teammate. So,
yeah, I mean, you want to do your presentation first, and then we can do that after, or you?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
You want to do it, Troy?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, bet.
Shout out to 5,000 people on the check-in on YouTube.
That's quick. We're gonna run this up. Let's run it up.
Appreciate you guys so much. And let me know if you guys can hear me, because I know last week was a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, you sound good on this side.
You good? You good to me?
Perfect. All right. Everybody on YouTube and all the earners, everybody in Red Panda, let me know if you can see my screen and I'll get going.
You got a thumbs up over here, bro.
All right, bet. So let's go. So, of course, the talk of the town for the last, feels like 5 weeks, but it's been a week and some change, has been GameStop. So I want to walk you through the truth behind how the game is rigged and you can still win anyway. The first thing I need you to know off the top is that the game is not designed for us to win. You have to accept that going into it. So when I was on with Vic and Trap last week, I was like, listen, it's like if you ever play ball and you went to state, you know, if you play outside of your district or your county, you have to win by 10 or 15. You can't get away with one free throw and hope things are going to go in your favor. And this applies here to us as retail traders, right? So let's go. But first, thank you guys for sharing it. Please share the podcast with your friends, because we're trying to break some history and break some records. So if you can share this with your friends and family, I would greatly appreciate it. As Rashad would say, leave 5 stars and then also leave a comment so we can break the interwebs and the podcast universe. Today is the last day for the deal for the stock club. So if you missed out, all the changes will happen tomorrow. For those of you that are in, you'll get the upgrades automatically. But for those of you who are not, you'll get upgraded tomorrow. So this is the last day for the deal and the price will go up tomorrow. So real quick, I want to thank everyone that we met in New York. Corey, of course, Weezy, Alex, Eden, Budden, Kevin, Sabo, Jason, Anthony, and Ian. I appreciate you. Matt, it was wonderful meeting you for the first time. Thank you to Danny for having me in your house. Hey, Trey, why you got eat some more kale, man? I got to get you on a kale wave. And I want to say happy birthday to my cousin Shayna and LaCara. And my guy has a film coming out called What About Me? I have no financial interest in this movie, but that's my guy, Taru. So good. Congrats to you on your film being on Prime. So let's get into it. February 11th, mark your calendars. Something special is coming. It's free. But on the last show of 2020, we told you need to go look at the entire Russell 2000. So my agenda for tonight is I want to give you guys 40 to 50 tips to make you a better trader. If that is okay with you, put 50 in chat. Tip number 1, I want you to go through the entire index and put 50 on your watch list that you like. We're going to do chart time later, so I'm going to walk you through how to do this. But step number 1, because GameStop was in the Russell 2000. Doesn't mean that you would have caught it, but there's quite a few of you that are watching now. Thank you. So I'm assuming 5 or 10% would have been able to catch it had you been in the move. Last week, we talked about the ultimate secret. That's to be able to long-term invest, own a business, swing trade, short-term invest, and avoid the income creep, have life insurance while being balanced. Please type in chat the 3 that you are going to stay with and that you're going to implement. I don't want you to dabble. If you're here to dabble, I love you. You can log out. This is not for us. And then we went over the 17 asset classes you can invest in. So last week, we covered something that some of you hadn't heard about before, which were convertible bonds. And lo and behold, Apple is planning to issue a bond in a 6-tranche deal. So if a company is issuing debt, for corporate purposes, they can use the money for working capital, debt payments, right? But there's a bigger plan here. So not only can you invest in the long term, you can loan them money and you'll get a smaller interest percentage out. You can hold this for 10 years, and I think they may offer a 30-year option. But I want you guys to be aware of what is coming down, and I want you to have enough asset classes in your portfolio where you never have to worry about money. Type freedom into chat if you want at least 10 sources of revenue in your portfolio. so you can have safety. My theory that I've been telling you guys about for a long time is that Apple is going to move into fintech. And with all the drama that has happened with Robinhood and not having enough capital requirements on hand, Robinhood is looking real sexy for acquisition. Not saying that it's guaranteed, but it would be a logical play for them somewhere in this decade to get in the financial services space. They already have the credit card. They've already built trust for 30 or 40 years. If Apple made a version of Robinhood or acquired a company and you can trade, and most of you are already on iPhones and there was no commission, and you don't have to worry about capital requirements because they have that treasure chest there, how many of you would actually trade off of Apple's platform? Put Apple in chat if you would. I always want you thinking 5 to 10 years down the line of what companies could do, because we are here to be owners and investors. So I want you to think that way so you can see what is coming. It's really exciting news for those of you that love Tesla and any of you that are in ARC. Biden wants an all-electric federal fleet. So he wants to convert 645,000 federal vehicles to electric power. So to the brother who was asking about charge station last week, well played, great job. Like it. Tesla, great job. The oil era is over. We're not going back to it. The biggest companies are going to transition as well to electronic and be good. But the era of big oil is officially dead if this goes through. And let's break down what really happened on GameStop. And first, I want to say I love the revolution of, I've been a retail trader since 2010. I love the revolution, but we have to realize also that Robinhood helped drive millions of people into the market. But some of you are getting finessed. Be real with you. Retail traders did not stop this movement. But so I want to give you guys a quick breakdown about what really happened. So, and then you can see if this ever happens again, you won't be able to be caught off guard, right? So deep value, if you guys who are on Wall Street bets, started to trend in June 19th of 2019. Michael Burry of Big Short fame picks up a significant position August 22nd of 2019. So this is tip number 2. Before you invest in a company, you need a lead investor that is a catalyst for other people to pile behind. So in your notes or in chat, please type lead investor. So Michael Burry, because he had the Big Short, he solidified this being an okay investment. August of 2020, Ryan Cohen gets a 10% stake. Great job for him. Ryan decides to give away a couple board seats. And now we're getting a fundamental case for why this is okay to invest in. And like I said, all my gamers, you can download things on PSN. You can download them on an Xbox platform. Not that many people are actually going to GameStop. I know Rashad, your son does. Xander maybe go for a PlayStation controller too. But at scale, more people are buying online. Then January 19th, Citron says they're going short because they did have a good fundamental case for the company not being good. So now you have a research company that does take positions, long and short, usually it's to the short side. Now they have a following. Now they're going to pile in. Right. So now it bounces up. Now we have a gamma and FOMO squeeze. So the gamma is the institutional side. FOMO is the investor side. And then all of a sudden, Robinhood needs more money. They have to sell a lot of the other stocks. And the reason why the market fell last week is because the funds who were getting their asses kicked by holding this position short had to liquidate in order to make funds available. Okay, now you're seeing the pressure from Reddit and everyone's taking off. Great. The Wall Street Bets Collective bought it. But the thing that you guys are not seeing is that a lot of the people, and I've been on Wall Street Bet for years. Type yes in chat if you've been on Wall Street Bets and you are of a darker hue. I'm going to be real. Not many of us were on there. Right? So 0.72 and Melvin Capital get squeezed. They're buddies. But you have to, now this is the game inside the game. So if you ever watch Billions, you've seen this happen. People don't like Steve Cohen because he is perceived to be arrogant. So what you're seeing is hedge fund beef. So if Melvin Capital is 50.72 is Lloyd Banks, you have everybody from Lil Wayne and Young Money teaming up against them to drive them out of business. This happened before with Bill Ackman, Carl Icahn, and Herbalife. This has happened before with Vertex. It's happened a few times before. So I need you to be mindful of that. And then Robinhood didn't have the margin to take care of it. They could have almost went bankrupt, and that's why they stopped the buys to help protect, of course, Citadel. I know they're saying it's not. Okay, now let's screenshot this. The guy who started this trend was not a retail trader. Look at this. Now, I don't want him to get in trouble. I'm sure he has some concerns, but look at what he has: a Series 24, an SIE, Series 7, Series 3 futures, Series 63, Series 65. That's not a retail trader. That's a pro trader that worked inside of an institution that started the trend. And this one thing I want you guys to be careful, and I wanted to save it to the end. For those of you that are just jumping on Wall Street bets, and this is your first time being online, and I'll let Rashad back in because he's an advisor and he had to pass these tests too. You cannot go online and prop up your position by posting your statement because it is an inducement for a person to get into a security. My biggest fear is that all of you jumped on Wall Street bets and you're going to get indicted. That platform was not built for us. So unless you were on Parler or unless you were storming the Capitol, I remember when it was not comfortable for us to be there. So be mindful. And I need you guys that are posting and trying to build brands to understand what the regulations are around that as well. So let's check this out real quick.
They didn't stop people from selling. They only stopped people from buying. So they shut down one side of the trade. And the effect of that was we had these hedge funds from Wall Street. They were on the ropes, right? I mean, let's discuss who these guys are. These are the apex predators of Wall Street. They are in the business of shorting companies to destroy them. I mean, that is their business model. And they are not academic traders, okay, who are just speculating on outcome. They engineer the outcome, right? Look at their tactics. Just watch the show Billions, right? They hire PR people. They hire private investigators. They're participating on these message boards, spreading disinformation. Look at the year of hell that Elon went through, right? They tried to destroy
it's like 5
Tesla.
years. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They try to destroy companies to engineer that outcome. They create nothing. They are in the business of destruction. Now, the beautiful thing is you had these Reddit kids, these pirates, who published this manifesto, right, on Reddit, basically being the heirs to Occupy Wall Street. They recognize, look, occupying like a physical space does nothing to these guys. We are going to hurt them where it counts in their pocketbook. We are going to get together and we're going to basically create a trade mob that's even bigger than their cartel. And they did. They got 2.7 million people taking the other side of this trade. And then when the hedge funds doubled down, they said, fuck you. We're going to triple down. And
I want to stop there. What if that some of these people were sent into these funds and they used us as liquidity to get out of these positions? I always say it. Financial information is never funneled to African Americans first. If you know of an instance, please type it in chat or text Rashad. I don't know of one. But when you're seeing people with all these licenses and then they are using press to get this out, I'll get to it later. Everyone always has an angle. So be very, very mindful when you're trading. And I'm not upset if you guys got into this trade. I'm happy if you did. Some of you made some big money off of this, but I want you to see all sides of the game. And when money is involved, the rules are not always fair. So I talked about it. Chamath will take profit. And I like Chamath a lot. But when he jumped onto the bandwagon as well, and then sold the next day and gave the money to charity, it was to also build his brand and to be in favor with us as the people. So be mindful of that. Now, if I'm wrong about where the price will drop to, the first person that screenshots this, I'll give away the money here on Market Mondays. I promise you that. But I'm comfortable in saying that we're going to drop hard. And I sent this to the group chat when we was in New York. You have to always be leery of institution posing as retail traders, and they have to exit in February. I need you to Google, when in March do hedge funds start to allocate capital to the market? Homework assignment number 1. Number 2, when does the Fed start to inject money into the market? There is a reason that the market recovered in 2020 in March, and then in the last Great Recession, it recovered in March. Look how close those dates were together. There is rationale there. Please go do your homework, as Troy would say, and you can find out why. Please write this down. I don't know if this is tip number 5 or number 6. The institutions will never play fair. It has to factor into your game plan. We talked about it on episode 70. So when you are the original asset that is traded, you have to factor this into your plan. Why are you shocked that the system tried to pull something over on you? Just to say to the game. And the excitement that you guys feel, I felt this way for years. This is why I've always preached being able to long-term invest and short-term invest. But you have to realize when you go against institutions, they are going to want to hit back at some point. GameStop at some point is going to drop to 143. It was a hell of a crash today. Let's mark it, give it till March, and let's see if we're at that spot. And I want to make sure, and the same kudos to Andrew, but the reason why we're beating this drum, and we talked about it last week, I want you guys to be safe. For my traders, some of you have the stance like I or Troy or Rashad that don't want you to make money, but you're not getting the calls about people that are in this and they're down and they put half of their life savings into it. So you have to be careful to just let the people know if you're in a trade, you're in a trade, but this is not a good investment. And for my traders, I want to tell you this. Troy, Rashad, and I like you. We're not here to compete against you. We are here to uplift the community. We were one of the first ones in the space to be able to do this. So take the information, apply it. If you don't like something, great. Go back to your plan, but we're actually here to help you a lot. So I want you to look at this. I want you to Google tip number 7, what a dead cat bounce was. And we're going to do chart time later. But when a stock rallies up 200%, 300%, there's usually a drop that happens. After that drop, my technicians know this, you usually have a dead cat bounce. It'll go anywhere from 40 to 60% up before the downslide. So it's a pattern that you need to be aware of when a stock is taken off too fast so you can start to cover. Okay? And this is what I want to stress for us tonight. Can we please move in silence? Some of us in the community are announcing our moves and we're talking about takeovers and we're talking about it on platforms that we do not own. I'm asking you to be careful because what good does it do for you to make all this money if you then end up getting into trouble or you then end up being involved in the pumping up yourself? Please be very careful. I'm saying this for a bigger reason, and please read in between the lines. And then all of a sudden, you guys couldn't close out of your positions. I was screaming on the phone to Trap, Matt, Rashad, and Troy, put limit orders in. Because I would hate for you guys to be in a good trade. And all of a sudden, you're in a profitable trade, but your broker won't let you close out. Some of you have never been in a winning trade and then got told, hey, you won't be able to get your money. It's the only reason that I don't like certain asset classes. So please be mindful of that. Write this down. On every trade you take, you must have a limit order when you want to exit. Kudos to Vic. I believe in free and fair markets, but we do not dictate access. You have to realize when we're trading, it's on a platform that we don't own and things can go wrong. So please be mindful of that. And we come here every week to give you the best advice for free so we can help you. Because I remember in 2008, I've told you guys, when a recession happened, I didn't know what to do. So we are here to help. But the only thing that I ask you guys in return in terms of payment is to apply the information, ask great questions so we can help. Because I want all of us to have freedom. And this is a travesty because when they got into a margin area, they didn't have enough money. I know it's easy to beat up on Robinhood now, but they didn't have the capital required for the clearinghouses. I need you guys to go read your disclosure statements because a broker can go out of business. Let me ask you a question. If you have 10,000 to 100,000 in a broker and the broker goes out of business, what happens to your money? Do you know? I need you to go look at other cases when brokers have went out of business and how long did it take? This is a part of the game that is not talked about. So when I'm screaming, be careful in your trades, these are some of the experiences that I've went through. And if you look at your disclosure statements, it says clearly that they can close your position at any time. Elon went crazy on Clubhouse last night. He locked all the rooms up. But Elon said it so you guys can now rock with it. Buy and hold companies that make good and services that you love. For me, it still needs to be a top 5. Okay, so I know some of you ask, well, does that change your thesis about just buying what you love? No, it needs to be a top 5 company, nevertheless, right? And kudos to you for being up on Novavax. I need you guys to put Novavax on your watch list. When we do chart time, if we have time, I'll try and go over some areas where you can get in. But when a stock takes off like how it did last year, it probably could have another 6-month run, and I want you to be able to catch some of the upside. And this is the part that I do love about the Wall Street Bets movement, and that we've quietly tried to cultivate over the last year. If we can work together and we can own these companies and sit in the board meetings, we can have change that actually happens. I hate to break it to some of you, but the only way we can actually get change to happen in our community is if we own some of these companies and we have money to put behind it. Politically, if you don't have any money invested, politicians do not care what we have to say. So what I want us to do is the community decide the 10 companies that we're going to drive money into, support, so we can have a seat at the table. So I want you to put in chat right now in YouTube and in Zoom, what are the 10 companies you think we should be a part of collectively as a family, so we may be able to have a say. Okay. Every trade that runs off like this, I want you to always go look and see how many hedge fund traders were in on that trade. And tonight I'll reveal to you how you can go look up what hedge funds are actually invested in. Okay. So I need to do a survey. How many of you before these last 2 weeks actually were on Wall Street Bets if you were Black and Latino? If you were not, type no. If you were, type yes. Jamal made a very great point. 2021 was made by the retail investors identifying a dislocation in the market. I truly believe this is the best class of retail investors ever on earth. Pat yourself on the back. But I want to make sure that we're getting into good trades and know when to exit. And if we're buying companies, we know when to how long to hold them, because I do not want you to get screwed. You have to accept we're always going to get used. That has to factor into your trading plan, your investing plan. But once you have that, you're good, and you can hedge for that. And kudos to my guy, Jeff. We don't have the power to move a stock like this. So I want to do an experiment. I want everybody watching this today and everybody watching on replay tomorrow. I want you to buy 1 share of Nike. Because some of you were screaming at me, no, it's power to the people. Hold a line. Great. Who can't? No one Black says hold a line. When?
They had Ja Rule saying it today
He
on
was
CNBC.
Shout out to Chris Gotti.
Shout out to
Gotti. Yeah, I won't be disrespectful, Gotti. I see you. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being solid. I'll leave it at that.
They said Netflix is recording Fire Festival 2 with Ja Rule holding the line.
Hey, listen. I never heard him say it when he was beefing with 50. So, it wasn't no hold the line. It was clap back and other stuff. Come on now. So, and Buffett said it's not about time in the market. It's about time in the market. But I think you should have both. But I do think, as Jamal stated, we should be incentivized for. And then at some point, there's going to have to be regulation about how much leverage can be taken on. For my brokers that are listening, be more responsible in the type of clients and customers that you have that you let trade on margin. Because when things go wrong and you mess up, your client base is not going to understand, we needed capital. You said that you were going to deliver a service. If you did not do it, that is on you. I'm sorry. But this is the way the game is played. And I want you to stress this. No matter who you run across in investing, everyone has an angle. Everyone. Please write this down. The brokers, the investors, the hedge funds, the people who publish the reports, even I. My angle is to make you so much, or to do right by you so much, that whenever I need to call upon you for a favor, I can get my favor granted. But you have to take in consideration when you're getting information, is it valid? Not many people are going to come to your doorstep or hop on social and give you advice that's actually going to make you a bunch of money. So for those of you that got into GameStop, AMC, Nokia, for those who got in Doge over the weekend and took profit, great. For those who still in it, I'm sorry. But use the information to your benefit, but realize that everyone that you encounter does have an angle. Here's how to know what hedge funds have in their portfolio. Write these 3 down. Number 1, Whale Wisdom. Number 2, holdingschannel.com. So when I say do your research, now this is the fun part for me. I want you to take the time to go look at the top 25 hedge funds and see what they have in their possession. Okay. And number 3 is Open Insider. So Whale Wisdom, holdingschannel.com, and Open Insider. And Stock Club members, I'll give you the other 3 that I love the most. So I'll post that for you tonight once we're done here. So to further prove my thesis, let's walk through the companies that benefited from GameStop on the upside. So BlackRock made $2.4 billion. Michael Burry kicked off the trade, and it was a great trade based on value because he saw that the stores were cash flow positive. Great thesis. But look at Fidelity, BlackRock, Vanguard, Dimensional, Sinvest, David Foss, Must Assets, State Street, Morgan Stanley, Maverick Capital, Wells Fargo, Goldman. These are not some BS companies. You don't think that they knew about Wall Street bets and it was in their best interest to let everybody hold the line for liquidity? Go to Google, type in where Michael Burry got in and where did he exit. So you need to reverse engineer some of these trades. Number 1 thing I want you to look at is risk to reward. How much capital he put in? How much did he make in return? Number 2, did he exit at the top in the 400s or did he get out below that? If he did not exit at the very peak and Goldman did not exit at the very peak, it means we were used for liquidity. This is the other side of the game that people don't talk about, but you have to learn this and use it to your advantage. But the biggest lesson from GameStop is the power group economics. We've said it week after week. We make every damn brand on earth hot, but will we want to profit from it? And sometimes it may take you guys seeing it. And the thing that I love, you guys saw how much money was made. Some of you guys have run across people that made $500,000 off GameStop. Great. Now it's burning your brain that this is possible. But why do you think we've been here every damn week since March? So we have to find the companies and assets that we are going to pile in together. So as a family, we'll be okay. So we can do all the king and queen talk we want to. We can do all the Black history talk we want to. We can do all the we need to get together. And Joe told me to stop preaching that, but I'm still going to try. What companies are we going to pile in together? Type them in chat. If we're going to overcome, one of the biggest steps that we're going to have to take is a step to be financially free. My biggest fear for us, and for those of you that just got on Wall Street bets, that we will see the second burning of digital Black Wall Street. It's my biggest fear. I pray that none of you have been pumping this shit through your Discord and through your email list and on your page. Because I'm going to be real, and I asked a couple people this yesterday. If you get brought in on charges, do you have $300,000 to fight the case? That's why I always tell you, follow your own plan. Because guess what? The people in that Wall Street bets group, if you get indicted and have to go to court, they're not going to put anything on your lawyer. My dad used to tell me, protect yourself at all times, and I never knew what he meant until I got older. You have to take all risks off the table when investing, especially the legal ones. That's why Troy is so amazing in doing our disclaimer every week, because back in the day, we didn't do one at all.
Waddle in round 1. Waddle is wobbly. Is he going to go down?
User agreement. At any time, Robinhood may discontinue your account and any services related. One of the things I need you to do tonight is I need you to go through your user agreement because some of you are putting tens of thousands and your life savings into a company and you don't even know how they operate. Real quick, I'm gonna dance through these so I can let my guys share some amazing information. I want to go through the 19 pieces of advice for traders. Number one, I'm happy for you if you got into these trades, but know where to exit on every trade. Number two, there's power in numbers, but I don't want you to be stupid. So we can pile into a company, but I know some of you have messaged me like, hey, maybe we can get our own group and maybe we can prop up. No, can't do that. Right? I have to stress this again. Know where you're going to exit before you enter. If you're trading, you need a 5-to-1 risk to reward. If you're a terrible trader, I will argue you should do 1-to-25. 500 on a long-term investment, 500% is a good exit point. I keep telling you guys, hold for 30 years. You don't want to hear it. 500% should be your exit point. Go through the Russell 2000 and scour for stocks, please. Number 6. Do you know how to buy a stock at an 85% discount? If not, this is how you do it. Write this down. Write the high of that stock or that asset and multiply it times 0.15. It'll give you the exact price where you can put your pending order to get in. So if we ever have a severe crash and it gets to that level, you'll automatically be in. I need you guys to stop buying $100 stock at $93. At some point, we're going to have a pullback, and then it pulls back. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe we pull back. It happens every month. This is the best group of retail traders in history, but most of you do not follow a plan. And all that noise can make you deviate from what you should be doing. Number 8, please stay silent. Please stay silent. Number 9, do you know where the 50% retracement is on every stock that you invest in? If not, map them out. All you have to do, if the stock is 250, just cut it in half. That can be a load the boat area if you're going to hold the asset for a year, if it's a quality company. Number 10, do you know where the 20% value line is? So a lot of stocks in 2020 dropped to 20% of its overall value. Rashad said all the time, like, okay, because of COVID, do you think that Boeing lost 90% of its value? No. But you have to buy it at a low. 20% and 15% is a good place to set your orders. Number 11, you have to know how to short-term invest. There's no way around it. I'm glad that we have more traders here now than ever, but I never want you guys to be stuck to be only able to do one thing. For my institutional traders, you have to work on your edge. Rashad, I'm going to keep it clean, I promise you. But less meetings, because you guys lost your edge. And for those of you that are over leveraging, and the reason why some of these funds got killed, they were doing naked calls, naked puts. And now your prices are getting whipped around. And now you're going outside of your risk parameters. And everyone always says you shouldn't risk more than 1 or 2% on any trade. And then you guys go risk 25%. One fund lost 55% of its capital on GameStop. You know how stupid you got to be to risk it all. But human emotions kick in. For everybody in Red Panda, that's why I always tell you, if your plan goes against you, you have to know where you're going to cut it off. Maximum 10%. 5 is great. But if you ever are in a position long-term on a trade and it gives up 10% of your account, you have to let it go. Retail traders, continue to build your edge. I'm going to be real with you. Most people in institutions cannot trade that well. There's very few. The ones that can are absolutely amazing, but there's a wide gap from institutional traders that cannot do well. What is your signature trading move? Please type it in chat. You need a signature trading move. You need a backup move if that move is missed, and you need a third move. I learned my perfect setup or my signature from watching Jordan's fade away. You have to have 3 moves that you can go to. Number 14, people want bigger gains, and that's been my thesis for 8 or 10 years. But you have to be able to stop once those gains are achieved. I need you to understand that whales move the market. If you think that I'm wrong, I want every one of us to buy Nike tomorrow, buy 1 share. Let's see how little it moves as a result. And there's a lot of people who watch us. Let's all agree to buy 1 share tomorrow and do it in Robinhood. Great. Let's see how little the market get moved as a result. The whales move the market first. Let's follow the moves that they're making so we can have liquidity to get out and also momentum on our side to be able to profit. Number 16, mark off your buy zones in advance. How are you looking at Nokia or Chipotle, as Trap will say, what up, my guy? Or McDonald's and not know what price you want to get in? You have to know in advance where you want to buy it. If it's not there, don't touch it. Shout out to Maul. I love you, my guy. But to everyone who wants to keep their money in their mattress, I understand that this market is tricky, but I think it's irresponsible. Because if we look at how many people we affect, and I'll just talk to Maul specifically, there's thousands of people that you can affect positively and change their lives forever. And I'm gonna be real. How is getting the streets so comfortable, but this is so complicated? And this is way easier. And I understand conditioning and I understand the plight that we faced. But at some point, I'm talking to the men collectively. We have to bond together, share more information, and be like, yo, it's okay. It's not that hard. But I think it's irresponsible for anyone to say that you shouldn't invest in anything because you don't know. It's too much information. We make every brand hot. I wanted just to be involved in the upside. On the business lesson side, I was listening to Ace Hood's interview, and we always preach ownership and equity. But I'm going to be real. We always get taught to be loyal and not have equity. Can we please stop building these brands that we have no attachment to? I know y'all in Miami, so my guys, keep my guys safe. Cali, we don't want no smoke. But you guys have to only build equity and loyalty together. You can't be loyal to a brand that you do not own, especially from our artists and creatives. Because when it's time to cut the checks and deals get cleared, they're going to dap you. I'd rather you get the wire. Be mindful, because we get used in that regard. And then later, as a bonus, because I'm running over on time, I'll show you guys how to look at crypto by the market cap. Now, let me run through these real quick. 20 biggest mistakes that traders make. Please stop changing your strategy. I need you to take 300 practice trades before you go live. But some of you will lose 5 trades in a row and change your strategy. If you do double moving averages, that has to be your thing for 5 years. If you're doing it perfect, has to be your thing. If you're using stochastic and RSI, that has to be your thing. But stop system hopping. It's going to affect your performance. Number 2, not knowing the number of trades you're going to take on a year. Some of you can make millions of dollars if you would take 20 trades on a year or 30 trades on a year and be done. But you take 90 and end up losing. Number 3, record every trade that you take so you can break it down and post analysis. So for those of you who haven't met Rashad built like he still can play for the Knicks, right? So I know when he hooped, he reviewed what he did well. You guys have to review. You guys will take a trade and I'm like, what happened? I don't know. Where did you get in? I don't know. What would you do different? I don't. Go review the damn film. I know it's tough, so wait a day. But after you review, you'll start to have your edges and see where you're going wrong. Number 4, not having the same risk to reward scenario. If you're a terrible trader, do 1 to 50, especially if you're trading something volatile, because you don't need to win that many trades to be able to make money. Number 5, risk mitigation is your superpower. Shout out to my guy, Don. We was talking about this earlier. Defense is offense. I don't care if you can make 300-400%. A lot of you have made 300-400% on them options, and your next 5 trades were negative 300. You're not posting the negative 300 on IG though. Number 5, not using the trading journal. Every trade that you take, you need to know what you did right, what you did wrong. Where did you get in? Where did you get out? Did you follow your system? Number 6, not mastering one method. You have to trade the same way over and over and over again. And then also not understanding the difference between a long-term trade versus a short-term trade. AMC was a hell of a great short-term trade. Terrible company long-term. GameStop, hell of a trade. Probably trade of the year. Terrible long-term investment. Real quick, what's the all-time high for GameStop? If you guys put it in chat. For those of you that traded, you should know. And where is it now in comparison to that all-time high previous to this week? And you got to keep your eyes on the chart, not your P&L. When you're trading, it's really hard when you're up $9,000 not to look at it, but you need to actually look at the candles to see if the move is still moving in your direction. A lot of times we can look at the chart, take our eyes off, go to P&L, and we get blinded. Not paying attention to the correlations. So all the markets are tied together. They all are. They all have an ebb and a flow. Okay. They're highly correlated. So just because you trade in different instruments does not mean that you're diversified, and it does not mean that they are all moving in the same trend. In March, everything was going to the upside. Gold, bonds, silver's moving to the up. April, the market went to the upside. Something had to break. Now you see the bond market coming down, commodities are slowly coming down, and things are getting back to normal. But you have to understand these correlations, because a lot of you lose your trades just because you're trading in the wrong direction. Stop adding to losing positions. I know some of you want a martingale and add to your loser and hope that it's going to pop up. Guess what? People that use the martingale strategy of doubling down, they usually end up going broke or out of business. For those of you that have read Jesse Livermore's strategy, go see part of the reason why he ended up eventually committing suicide. It was because how he places capital. Don't widen your stop, take the hit, because the traders, some of the traders in Melvin Capital and this Robinhood trade could have got out with a 10 or 15% loss, and it ballooned out of control by removing those stops. And you don't want to do the same thing. Stop pulling your stop loss to break even. Break even is okay. I'd rather you be up a couple of bucks. But if you lock in profit too fast at break even, you're going to have a lot of trades that you end up scratching, where if you gave them 30 minutes, you would be okay. Not treating trading like a business. That's why I'm like, how many trades are you going to take for the year? Stop ignoring your risk parameters. And you have to know when the algorithms are going to kick in. Another last homework assignment. Go look at the percentage of trades on the GameStop move that went to the upside. How many were algorithms? You'll be shocked. So all the retail traders that were supposedly pushing this up, there were also algos pushing it up for profit and then start shorting it. Shout out to the Big D's. I know you guys talked to him earlier this year on the personal finance side. For those of you who can, if you can sacrifice 2 or 3 years of your life and save 75% of your income, my God, you will have one of the biggest breakthroughs ever. Everyone is not meant to be an investor short-term or a trader, but everyone can sacrifice 2 or 3 years to put away a significant amount of money that will benefit your family. And I want to cover real quick fundamentals that matter. Depth of research. So I want you to go look, please write this down, the holdings of the top 25 hedge funds. I want you to go look at the positions they've gotten rid of in the last quarter. Number 3, I want you to go see the position size that stock has in their portfolio. So what percentage? And a track record for the last 10 years. If you do those 4 things, you can use some deductive reasoning and be able to win in a market, whether or not you tune into Market Mondays every week. So I appreciate you guys so much. I love you dearly. We'll do some charting later, and hopefully we can go through the Dow 30. I don't want to take up all the time, but I love you guys dearly. I just want to break down what really happened inside of GameStop. Take your emotions out of the trade, because when our emotions are getting involved, we can't think clearly. And while GameStop was being propped up in AMC, some of you guys missed out on the next stocks that were running, and it wasn't silver. So go look for the next ones that could have a catalyst and look there. Anytime that the entire world is talking about one particular stock, it's to liquidate and move that capital somewhere else.
Outstanding. Outstanding performance. My God.
There you have it. You done, bro?
I'm all done.
Oh, okay.
Oh man.
I thought you checked out.
Damn.
Nah, great job, bro.
That was crazy.
Yeah, that was great job, man. First and foremost, thank you for that presentation. Shout out to Chad 85 South. He texted while you was doing this. He was like, "Yo, he's a scientist. He's like a mad scientist with this." He said it in a different words I'm paraphrasing, but
That was really
but nah, I appreciate that, bro. And shout out to everybody out there. Market Mondays is the biggest show in the world. The biggest show on earth, man. 9,100
breaking
people
news alert
on YouTube. A record, a Market Mondays record every single week. Last week it was 8,000. This week is 9,100. Let's run it up to 10,000.
Yeah.
The biggest investment show on earth, man. Market Mondays.
9,100 people, and we got 2,700 likes.
Hit the like button.
Hit the like button. Stop
like
playing.
button.
It costs nothing.
Listen, even if you guys don't like us and you tuning in, they're not gonna know it's you. just hit the like, man. Come on.
Hey, yo, Ian, I love how you ended that, man. Because a lot of people didn't stick to the script, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or when you were going through this whole presentation, in my mind, I kept hearing myself like, stick to the script, stick to the script, stick to the script. I doubt many people had GameStop on their script. I doubt many people had AMC on their script
at all.
And once they saw a rise, they forgot about everything else that they had written down in their notes. They've been day trading all these other things, and they forgot about what really got them here, right? So they might have missed a buying point for SMH. They might have missed the buying point for AMD. You know what I mean? They missed all these things because they were chasing something. So it's vitally important that y'all stick to your script, stick to your plan, have a plan, right? Don't just say like, oh wait, they're making money over there. Because I mean, you can, right? But you're late to the party. And right, so
and the
what
thing
happens
is, if you guys, no, go ahead.
Go ahead.
And
no, I said sometimes when you're late to the party, no, you go. I was gonna say sometimes when you late to the party and you try to exercise a trade and well, you can't exercise it. Well, we can't fill the order anymore, right? Because you come late to the party and you didn't exit or have an exit strategy. So vitally important. I love that you said that at the end.
And then some of you are having FOMO because you didn't do the research. The pain and regret as a man is tough. So you're like, damn, if I would have actually did the homework, I may have been able to find it. So AMC was a decent trade. But if you actually put in the work, you'll be able to find some gems on your own. But that's why we stress that every week. It's not a euphemism or a colloquialism that we're just throwing around. Like, please, I'm gonna go through this book list for you guys later before we hop off. But man, just do the work. All the riches that you want is going to come from doing the work. I promise you that.
There you have it. So yeah, that was a great presentation. That's like a master mind class within itself, a master class within itself, a whole tutorial on a variety of different topics. So let's get into some trending topics, and then we can get some questions, and then yeah.
We'll do the earnings. Want to do it now? Should I start with the earnings and then we get into the topics?
Yeah, you can start with the earnings.
All right, we'll start with the earnings. So today, man, and if you've been a loyal Market Monday follower, you know that I've talked about this company. You know Ian's mentioned as well. Thermo Fisher reported today. Amazing company, man. Obviously, you know that they are in the health care field. Obviously, with coronavirus, they are providing materials to help carry the vaccine. They are also providing the freezers, right? Because we know that some of these vaccines have to be in sub-zero temperatures. They are actually creating the freezers that carry these things. And so if we know that there's going to be a max amount of people the vaccine is going to be carried out in millions. This is a company, obviously, that we said it. I think it was June. And you remember it was like June we spoke about it?
Yeah.
And now they had, it was really good. Tomorrow morning, Alibaba will be reporting. And then tomorrow after closing, we got the big boys. We got Google, Amazon, and Chipotle. Wednesday, Bolton will be reporting before opening, and after closing, we got Qualcomm and PayPal. I always talk about the earnings that we're watching. There's obviously more companies that are reporting, but these are the ones that we are watching that we have spoken about before that we actually are doing our homework on. On Thursday, after closing, we got Snap, Peloton, Activision, Blizzard, and T-Mobile. And Activision Blizzard was one of the companies. We actually spoke to a group of kids this weekend, and we were talking about video games and ownership. And so it was a pleasant surprise for them to know that, yo, Call of Duty is made by this company. So I was like, yo, the kids are listening.
A behemoth.
Yeah, it's a behemoth company, and they're gonna keep buying the game every year. So why not buy the stock? So that was impressive to know. And then, that's it. For the week. That's the ones we're looking at.
Qualcomm good, PayPal good, Activision good. What was the other one?
We got Google, Amazon, Chipotle. Obviously, we know those. Snap and Peloton.
Okay, there you have it.
It's a nice list.
Yeah. So let's get into a couple of different topics. first I want to give a stock that I'm looking at, well, an ETF that I was looking at, and it's just randomly hit me today. We're in Miami, like I said, New York. We were supposed to leave today, but it's a blizzard in New York, so our flights got canceled. So we're in Miami for a couple of days. So didn't really have too much to do today. So I was just catching up on old emails, catching up on some work, catching up on some text messages that, been backlogged on. And I'm watching CNBC, saw Ja Rule on there, shout out to Ja. And one of the things about, being an entrepreneur, working for yourself and being on your own time is that you have time to think. One of the greatest things that most middle class and working class people are robbed of is the ability to think. You don't really have time to think. It's done for you, where you just you wake up, you go to work, you get your kid ready for school, you have a lunch hour, you talk to your coworkers, you go to happy hour, you come home, you take your kid to basketball practice, and then you got to do homework with your kid, you're tired, you go to sleep, and that's it. And this is why a lot of people never really get into investing. Not only money might be tight, but also they just never have the time to actually think. But when you have a little bit of financial freedom and you can move around your own time, you have a lot of time to think. And by thinking, you actually can make more money. So you make more money when you're actually not really working that hard. Because as Justin said, most people are trained to work from the neck down.
Mm-hmm.
But what we do is work from the neck up. So I'm in bed and I'm just thinking, and my son, like I said, he's a gamer. Like he's gaming is a whole culture for these kids these days. They got a whole, what's the thing that Bron's son is in?
That gaming league?
Yeah, it's a whole gaming crew.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a whole subculture. So I'm like, I should start investing in gaming companies. I was already in AMD. They make the chips, but I'm like, I need to get a little bit more. And I already knew about the ETF, but I'm like, let me look into this. So then I looked into Hero.
Yeah.
I looked into Hero, and when I really looked into it, I'm like, nah, this is something that actually makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, Nintendo, Nvidia, Activision, Take-Two. Their chart is amazing.
Yeah.
And the gaming industry is not slowing down. It's recession-proof. I see firsthand that these kids are addicted to it at a level that I've never seen before. And it's only going up from here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that gaming's been around since I was a kid, and it's only getting bigger and bigger. So I was looking at a couple option calls on it.
You missed the part.
What?
You called me.
Well, yeah, I called you. Get your opinion, see what you thought about it. We had a conversation about it.
Yeah.
And I think I'm gonna make a play on that, on Hero. I think I'm gonna make a play on Hero.
Yeah, so I mean, Hero's an ETF. You left another one out. You said ESPO, so we looked into both of them. And so when we looked at them, obviously they're fairly new. I think they're about 2 to 3 years old, ETFs. Usually I like to have the ETFs longer. And so there were some good things. We saw that the chart was good. The volume is kind of low right now, obviously because they're new, but they're cheaper. And one of the things that we don't really like when we trade is we like to do 2 years, right? We like to do long term. And these ones, I think they don't go past, I think August or September. So typically we don't like it. But like you said, our kids are so much into this gaming world, and esports and iGaming is not going anywhere. It was something we had to look at. So that was one that he looked at. And then on the other end, everybody knows I love DraftKings. They know I love Penn Mutual. And so I was like, look, man, I've been talking about
Penn Mutual.
Penn, I'm sorry, Penn Gaming. I've been looking at it for a while. I said, look, bets, that's going to be my ETF, BETZ. And finally, I've been waiting for like 3 months for them to extend their option chain. And so they finally extended it to December. And so like, that's something that I'm really looking at. The only things when those chains extend, sometimes the strike prices don't extend with them. And so I think the highest strike price you can get now is like $34. And I think the stock trades at like 29. And so I'm watching that very carefully. But the chart looks good. Obviously, y'all know I love sports betting and iGaming. And so those are two that we were looking at today. Like, this is like a real conversation that we actually had. And it was like, all right, I'm gonna send this number. I'm gonna send you this number. What do you think? Let's try to make some plays on this.
Yeah. So yeah, those are the things that we did today in Miami. So just wanted to let you guys in on some random Monday conversations that we were having and some Monday plays that we was making in our portfolio. So shout out to
Hero
my guy.
29 looks good. My bad.
You got it, right?
Yeah.
That's dope. And another thing, Ian, that you mentioned, and it's crazy, right? You mentioned this inside of your presentation, the all-electric federal fleet. So I was like, that's really interesting, right? Because we see a lot of people going into the EV market. And we spoke about kind of like that Hyundai and Apple rumor. And then last week we spoke about GM, and Microsoft. And now, I don't know if anybody saw this, but today Ford announced that they're going to be teaming up with Google. And so you're starting to see these big, right, these mega large cap companies coming into the auto space through different avenues, man. So it's interesting to watch. So anybody that is like thrilled about EV, you're starting to see these large tech, quote unquote, tech companies come into that space just in a different format. So that's dope.
Yeah. So let's shout out to my guy Chad from 85 South. He's the business mastermind behind the whole 85 South Media Corporation. And he just got turned on to Market Mondays recently. He's been watching On Your Leisure for a while. He just got turned on to Market Monday. So he's become a big fan. And he hit me today, like, yo, he asked me about Virgin Galactic. It's funny that he asked me about Virgin Galactic, XPCE. And I was watching another thing. I had a lot of time on my hands today. So I was watching CNBC, and I heard from Matty J actually before that. Elon Musk was on Clubhouse yesterday.
Yep, shout out to Matty J.
Yeah, Elon Musk had the most you can have is 5,000 people in a room. So he was on Clubhouse. He had 5,000 people in a room. And then they like recorded his conversation. They were like listening to his conversation on the phone. And then they had like 5 other rooms. And all those 5 other rooms have 5,000 people.
Yeah.
Elon Musk will be on EYL. Let's just go for it. Elon Musk will be on EYL and Market Mondays, a doubleheader.
Yeah.
In 2021, we're gonna make that happen. Speaking into existence right now.
Shout out to the meme dealers. Matty J is supreme hustler. He bought the URL and everything as soon as Elon said it.
Yeah. Matty J is crazy, man. Shout out to
That's our
Matty.
guy. That's our guy.
Shout out to Spectacular too. So I say that to say space tourism. Space tourism is a new thing. Well, it's going to be a new thing.
Every time I think about space tourism, I start thinking about Cedric the Entertainer, like when he was on Kings of Comedy. Like, they really trying to leave us.
Yeah.
They want to leave us here on Earth.
Yeah.
They want to leave us here. They're going to travel to Mars and leave us here.
Yeah. So space tourism is a big thing. SpaceX, Elon announced yesterday, SpaceX will be going. Yeah, but they'll be taking passengers, which he talked about before, but they'll be taking passengers into outer space. And Virgin Galactic, they had some issues in December, but they said hopefully the kinks will be worked out by February, and they're gonna be taking passengers into outer space as well. So with that, the price went up. It went up
21%.
Yeah, $9 today, $5 in the after hour. Virgin Galactic stock is on the rise, but it's also pretty high on the put list. So that's why Chad, I put that in the chat. Like, can y'all talk about that? So, how do you feel about Virgin Galactic?
Fire. Kudos to my guy Kobe. I think Kobe been in it 2 years, or a year and a half. Amazing. It's too high right now. If I can get it around 30 or 28, 22, stock club members don't kill me. You're gonna have to hold it for a year and a half, 2 years, but amazing. That, of course, SpaceX, amazing. But SPCE is a good hold. It's too damn high to buy right now because it's at the top of every. Yeah, it's too high right now. You gotta wait for it to pull back to 30 or 35. If you just have to get in, you guys can get in 40. And I know some of you are like, yo, you always saying wait to get back. It's like waiting those 2 weeks or 3 weeks to get in can have a profound impact on the percentages that you get. And then also when you wait for your spots, you have a tendency to then fire at other positions that will be in your favor because now you're confident. If you win one trade and lose another, you're going to tend to pull back. But if you're getting them at the right time, you'll be good. But that's homework assignment. The high of SPCE is 59.49. What is the 50% value line? What's the 20% value line? And what's the 55% value line? I want you guys to put that in chat. And then you can kind of mark off those areas. You have to wait for it to pull back. Or you can do whatever you choose to do. Whatever you choose to do. So,
yeah. Well, Virgin
Galactic. Can we talk about switchback real quick? Because the kid made a good thesis. I looked at it. It's not one of my favorites, but he has a good case. So the ticker SBE that he talked about last week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yeah.
I believe his name was Ash.
Yeah, kudos to you, brother. Yeah, it's a yeah. I mean, if you can get it at 29.44, 29.43, I'll be elated. It's gonna pull back some, but if you can hold it for a few years, you're gonna have a home run. You're gonna have a home run because with that catalyst of electric vehicles, Tesla may not be able to provide all the charging stations that's needed for it. Now, Tesla can provide some for non-Tesla vehicles, but I don't know if they can do 700,000. So there's going to have to be a secondary and a third player. They are prime. They're prime. So has my stamp.
There you have it.
Shout out to Ash, man.
There you have it. It has Ian's stamp of approval. So shout out to Ash. Yeah, that was a dope conversation that we had last week.
19 years old.
Yeah. That was a dope conversation. So shout out to you. Wait, before we go, I just want to talk about one other thing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Moderna has been downgraded.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. A lot of people think that this is an opportunity to actually buy because the stock has slipped. Being that it's downgraded, it might even slip a little bit more. The vaccine is out. They're having problems with the rollout, and there are new strands of the coronavirus, allegedly. We don't know what's true or not, but there are new strands of the coronavirus, which they are monitoring. So are we still, we talked about this. This is one of our most famous stock predictions. We said this in
March.
We said this in March.
Yep.
I personally, I'm still bullish on the stock long term because the biotech space isn't going anywhere, and I think it's going to be more. I don't want to say there's going to be more global pandemics because obviously I don't want to even put that kind of energy out there. Yeah. But I do think that this type of thing is very susceptible to happening. And even from a terrorist standpoint, like that's something that people haven't really talked about either. Which, you know, there's plenty of TED Talks on that. I think even Bill Gates had even spoke about that. Like the new terrorist is not going to be fly a plane into the building. A new terrorist is going to be inject somebody with something, go to Manhattan and just start coughing on people on the train. Biowarfare. So it's the biotech industry is something that is definitely going to boom. Shout out to Dennis. We talked about that when he brought him on Market Monday. So as a long-term hold, I think that they're still positioned to make money. It might be a tough couple of months, quarter, but I think that they still have some room to grow along with other companies as well.
Yeah, Johnson & Johnson released, I think since the last time we had Market Mondays, Johnson & Johnson had their vaccine. It started out being 65% effective, and then within the same week, it became 77% effective. And I think that their main difference was like, you didn't have to get 2 shots. It was just 1 shot. But now that they're having a shortage of vaccines, it's like, yo, everybody get the 1 shot first, and there's no second dose. We got to use that second shot for the people who get there first. And so it's a volatile space right now. But like you said, it's not going anywhere. Obviously, with the threat of biowarfare and the threat of pandemics in the future, this is a space that we definitely should keep an eye on. And I think we gave out some ETFs in the biotech space.
Yeah,
too.
we gave a couple of ETFs.
So it's been there, it's documented. Please make sure it's on your watch list.
All right, let's go to some questions before we wrap this. We had 9:15 already. That's crazy.
Damn.
Time flies.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
When did Moderna get downgraded?
I believe yesterday. Today they got it, right? I believe.
And so for everybody else, when did Moderna hit its all-time high? That's like LeBron scoring 68 in Milwaukee and be like, he won't score 68 tomorrow. Look at my face. Okay. You guys can get out if you want to. Do whatever. I'm not an advisor, but I'm just telling you, if something makes a top and the volume was extremely high, yes, of course, it's going to slide down off the high, but is it time to get out? No. And in crisis like this, even the players that are not the best are going to make money. They have been positioned well. Now, is it a volatile stock? Yes. Tough to hold, and I'm not just saying that because it was a pick in the stock club, because we were on Moderna before the majority of the world was. And I'll say this too, in terms of portfolio management and asset allocation, rebalancing, you guys are taking too many strategies from hedge funds and applying it to your personal finance. So maybe it'll get downgraded. Great. Okay, so be it. Maybe the time will be to get into it will be March. Because maybe hedge funds have to put capital into the market in March. Doesn't affect you, but you can do whatever you want to. But if you can,
that's great.
Let's see.
That same strategy that you just said, right? LeBron scores 61 night, he won't get 60 again. That's exactly when I thought about Salesforce, right? When I was looking at Salesforce, I'm like, yo, had an all-time high of 272. They made the acquisition of Slack, and they dropped. Like, it's still a great company, right? They made the acquisition, but it's still a great company. And then I'm like, right now, I'm like, obviously I looked at the Bollinger Bands, the RSI looks good. I'm like, yo, this is a good buy point for it. And so it's crazy that you said that, because that was the exact strategy that I was thinking when I'm like, yo, maybe I should make a play on this. But today they announced some news. I'm not sure if you saw it, but they made an investment into Databricks. Are you familiar with Databricks?
Nope.
Databricks is a company. Databricks is a company that takes large data and compiles it very fast. And so in this industry, right, in the sports industry, Amazon's investing in it, Google is, and now Salesforce. That helps their business streamline a lot faster. And so when you start seeing like these type of plays, you got to add it up, like strong company, acquisition, what are their roles for the future look like? What's the prospect? Who's the CEO? These are all the, like when we say the homework, I know people are like, what's the homework? That's the homework. Look at all those things before you make that play. Or do what you want to do.
You guys have to stop looking at normal pullbacks off of highs. And it's another good homework. I know you guys tired of the homework. For every stock that you're investing in, you need to see on a quarterly basis what's the highest amount that it would drop. I'm looking at the chart now. Salesforce hasn't had a bad quarter since 2009. So if we go back and look, even if we go to the top of 2011, the price is at 37. It's ran from 37. It's at 228 now. The 10-year hold period is a cheat code. That 5-year is a cheat code. I know most people don't want to hear it, but you guys are looking at too short of a time horizon. And I'm gonna be real. Going back to the early point of everyone having an angle and then information being flowed a certain way. You don't think at some point they're telling you that these companies are bad to invest in so they can buy more shares for friends, family, and push us in? Because I'm gonna be real. No one was talking about GameStop 3 months ago. Everybody was talking about rotation in Tesla. And then March, everybody was talking about airlines and cruise lines. I'm in a bunch of different groups. The conversations that happen in our groups are much different than that happen in others. Salesforce is still solid. So if I told you a company has not done bad since 2009, why get rid of it? Why get rid of it? A lot of times information is funneled to make us get out of certain things earlier than we should. But I'm just here to serve. You can do whatever you want to.
The game. It's the game.
Yep.
All right, we're opening it up. Sherry.
I'm drinking water, not tequila. This is $10 water, which is what happens when you're in Miami.
Boy, that's the Rocks Terramano, whatever that's called.
Not George Clooney's tequila.
Not your typical Fiji. Sherry, you've been unmuted. Unmute yourself. It's a new name. I hope she knows how this works. Sherry, there will be no.
Mike Lloyd, it is.
All right, let's go to Mike. Mike Lloyd, unmute yourself. Wait, Sherry just unmuted herself. Sherry, what's up?
Hello, how are you guys today?
Great. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Well, I didn't even know I was raise my hand or anything. I didn't really have a question, so I don't want to take the platform from anyone else. I'm just listening.
What's the number one thing that you're invested in? I got to ask you.
Square and Tesla, Nike, Apple. Those are my top picks.
You don't need to ask anything.
Sherry got our own ETF.
You're living good. You're doing good.
You're living good, Sherry. Shout out to you. Appreciate you.
Shout out to Kenny Burns too. He had me on the show today, and I spoke about Nike. I think about a couple other stocks, like stuff that people use on a day-to-day basis. Apple, of course, things of that nature. And Kenny, super solid dude. So
Kenny, what effort you had it when you was in the Rockefeller building? Let me get that off you. I know you got it. Kenny, a legend, man.
Yeah, shout out to Kenny, man.
All right, who we got? Mike, we coming to you. Mike, unmute yourself. You've been unmuted. Mike Lloyd, what's going on?
What up, y'all? Hey, Ian, good job at your presentation.
Thank you.
I love all y'all. My question is, now since I'm getting more familiar with stock and investing, I just need to know, since I'm going off of Ian method, when he said pick 4 main stock and invest in them, I just need to know how often should I invest? Should I take like 1 month and then do like say Apple this month and then next month do Tesla? Or like how often should I invest in those and also the ETFs?
How aggressive are you trying to be?
Very.
Yeah, I would do majority of your positions in Tesla when it dips, then Apple, and then indexes. If you're being conservative, I would do indexes first and then tech. But for those of you who are looking to be conservative, I would pile in a bunch of positions in the ones that you think are going to go up the highest, and then work your way down to indexes, because indexes are going to drive your portfolio, but when the market drops, it's going to provide a safety net for you.
Okay.
But yeah, I would take 1 month at a time, and then the next big drop that we have at Tesla, I would load up on it. Well, we may get a drop of 768 here pretty soon.
Okay.
You may want to ask something there.
Okay. Now, what's the difference between an index and ETF? Is there a major difference?
No, but I'll let our amazing advisor chime in.
Yeah, I mean, they're very similar. Index fund is more broad range. So you have like the S&P 500, and it's actually, I talked about this on Kenny Burns show today too. It's crazy, which is 500 companies. ETF, like let's say like an XLK, XLY, SMH, they might have like 20 or 30 companies, and it's targeted towards a specific area. Yeah. So the S&P 500 is broad range of 500 companies from a variety of different sectors all over the economy. Where the ETF, it's the same principle, but it's smaller, more concise, and it's focused on one particular area. So like that Hero ETF that I talked about, that's for gaming. SMH is for chips. So you have different ETFs that'll be like like MJ is a marijuana ETF. So that's more targeted, specific for one particular thing, whereas the index is more broad range. The index usually has more stocks in it. The ETF is more, of like a sniper. So if it's the military, the ETF will be the Army. I mean, the index funds will be the Army, and the ETFs will be the Navy SEAL.
Yeah, and then there's also an active and a passive component. So homework, I know y'all are not killing with the homework. Which one is more actively managed and which one is more passively managed? So for example, index would be VTSAX, and then the ETF version would be VTI. So how actively it's traded or adjusted or reallocation happens in one versus another. So I just want to give you guys, I'm not being flippant. I just want to give you some of the tools that you need to be able to do the research, to be able to know these answers on your own. But
all right, thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Great
Appreciate
question,
you, Mike. Yeah, that was a great question.
For those of you piling into BlackBerry thinking it's going to be the company of the future because of the partnership, I appreciate that it's bounced up. They could have an edge there. It's not going to work though. It's not. I'm just telling you guys. So do whatever you choose.
All right, here we go. Stefan, we calling on you. Unmute yourself. You have been unmuted.
All right, what's up? How you doing, guys?
What's going on?
How you doing?
All right. So I got two questions. First, I want to start off. I was doing a little research and I found this company, Naked. Are you guys aware of that company?
The juice company?
No, it's a retail e-commerce company.
Naked brand?
What's the ticker?
Yeah, Naked brand. NAKD.
Yeah. We were just talking about that, right?
You called, yo, Stefan, the craziest part is 3 days ago, Shadi called me and was like, yo, what's up with this brand? I mean, it's in that Reddit umbrella of stocks. It's actually they suspended trading on it.
Yeah. Somebody Wall Street this Reddit situation? Because I just asked you about that.
Exactly.
I just asked you about that because it was
where you pull that from?
Yeah. It was in 2018. It was $643, and it's $1.40 today. It's $1.40.
I actually got in before the Reddit hype. So I got in, did some research. I saw all of that. And then I saw that it was actually part of the squeeze with Reddit as well. So I got in at 49 cents.
Good job. What, did you exit yet?
No, I didn't exit. I sold a little bit today because I was a little shaky. I'm not
gonna
lie.
You got in at 42 cents, you said?
49.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Ooh. And it got up to 240.
Yeah, they got to 249. They even rise up to $3 on last week. But my account, I was trading over from Robinhood to E-Trade. So my account was a little on freeze, so I couldn't do anything with that. But they actually
I would take profit because you're up a considerable amount already. And then since it's below $2, what happens if it gets delisted? So you got a nasty win. it would suck for you to have that return and then in 2 weeks come back and be like, they froze all the assets.
Yeah.
And I ask you, if they freeze the assets, do you know what happens to your profit?
So, that means I don't get it, right?
Like defense at all times. And it's not fun because you made a hell of a trade. You got in before everyone else got in. You got in at an amazing price. Shout out to the Snipers Dream Team. Like, look where he got in off our momentum. Like, fire. But you have to know where to take profit. Great job. And then also, the volume was the highest on a daily. On the 27th, on the 29th, it dropped in half, and now it's 10% of what it was.
Yeah, like I said, the only reason I didn't take profit when it got to $3 because I couldn't, because I was in the middle of trading over my account.
Okay.
So I had to not even get out. You know what I'm saying?
Why'd you get in? Like, what made you get into this position?
I was literally doing some research on my own, just like doing some research on some companies, and I was looking at companies under $1 actually, and then I found this company and started getting more into it. I saw what they did. They was actually about to get delisted before on the stock market, and then they changed over their strategy after the pandemic. Then they went to e-commerce and they started.
And they sent out a press release and it bounced. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Did you have a limit order to exit the trade?
No, I just learned about limit orders today because.
My bad, we didn't go over it before then. I'll take blame. But because at 5X, you'd have been out at $2.45. Hell of an entry. Like, and once again, I'm not mad if you guys take the trade, but I want you to be able to get out because the lower the price of a stock, the higher the probability of it that it's going to go out of business. But it was a hell of a trade. Like, I don't need your thesis for what you got in at a great price. If you guys can get in some of these at 20 cents and get out, cool. But you can't hold them in like it's a great trade.
I think you got to sell it because, like I said, it's not a good company. Obviously, the chart is terrible, and you tripled your money. You tripled your money in a short period of time, so you can never lose by taking a profit. And it's not like it's something where it's like a long-term hold. You're only probably holding it because you think like maybe the momentum from Wall Street bets can just skyrocket
it up to $10.
But you can't be greedy in this game. You already tripled your money with something that is really just a speculative gamble, really.
And if you guys
valuable lesson, there's a difference between a good trade and a good investment. So you got a good trade, you got to get out of it.
In 2015, in 2015, have you looked at the historical chart? Let me walk you through. 2015, the high was 677. 2 years later, the low was 89. 2017, it popped up to 473. A year later, it dropped down to 118. I want you guys to type the percentage drops based off that. Then it went to 1136, slid down to 7 cents. I know you are hoping for a pop to the upside, and you may have to wait a year for it to go in your favor, but please predetermine your exits. This rise and fall has happened in 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, and now. And then this most recent pop was the highest volume that the stock has had in 5 years. Like Rashad talked about pump and dumps last week. This is it. You profited from it. Please take profit.
I looked at this website. It said it was a weak hold. It wasn't supposed to be a long hold anyways. So I was doing a test.
They should trade the designation to trash. It's a trash hold. Great trade though. Like hell of a trade.
We appreciate you, bro.
It's a trash.
It's a trash one. We appreciate you, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, there was a long list of stocks that got suspended. So I actually had them in my notes. AMC, they're raising the trading limit. I think you can only buy like 20 shares now. Before, people were just buying like ridiculous amounts. So they first suspended it. Now there's trading restrictions on AMC, Nokia, Bed Bath & Beyond, and Naked was on there too. So, and BlackBerry is on there. Obviously, GameStop is one of those as well. So
it's a trash hole. You got to be very leery of anything with an acronym. We learned that.
We learned that yesterday. We learned that yesterday.
If any of you are on a short, you should probably get out a 72 cent. Take profit there, 72 cent on the drop.
Let's go to one more question before we end. But I want to say also, going back to the Hero ETF. So when I called my son today, and I told him like, the kid's account, he knows he has a kid account. So I'm like, I'm gonna put some money into video games for you. He's like, how? Like, I'm like, you know about stocks, right? He's like, yeah. So I'm like, all right. So all of those games that you buy, we're gonna invest the money into these games. And I was kind of like explaining it to him. And I'm like, so when you get older, you're gonna have money. But he's like, so the video games is gonna pay me money? I'm like, yeah, video games are gonna pay you money.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, cool. So yeah, I thought, because I'm like, you know what? Since I'm gonna probably do it for myself, since he's in the games, I might as well put it in his account as well. And that way it's something that he can relate to, he can understand, and that'll help him hopefully want to get into investing as well when he can see some returns from video games. It's not just him just spending money on games. Like, video games can actually pay him as well.
That's what I said. There's no age limit on when you can teach them, right? Like, same thing. Our kids are on the phone together all the time, but they were waiting for the Roblox IPO. They knew about it, right? Because they spent money inside of that. And so, like, that was a way to teach them. Like, that was going to be the first thing. My kids ain't on PlayStation yet. Thankfully, it's saving me money, but they are on Roblox. And so we're waiting for that.
They're busting me for the skins on Fortnite right now. Please keep them off PlayStation. Man.
Yeah, I'm trying. But his son don't help. They're like, yo, you got to play Fortnite. Now my daughter want to play Fortnite. I'm like, babe, just stick to the rivers and lakes you used to. Just do this. All right, let's get one more.
The kids account.
EYL kids. Who we had? She didn't pick up. All right, let's go over here.
The kids account is a whole culture because they know about it. Yep. They don't really fully understand it, but they know it's like the kids account. Like,
if you guys hold your kids account and don't mess with it, my God, your kids will be straight.
I don't want to show them what's in it. Tamika, what's going on? You've unmuted yourself already. What's up?
Oh, yeah, I didn't know I had to wait for y'all. Sorry. Good evening, everyone. I had a quick question.
Tamika, turn your radio down. Turn the volume down. Yeah, please. Is
that better?
No, you still peeking a little bit.
Are you on a microphone?
My laptop.
You got the greatest quality laptop. Dre made that. You got that Beats by Dre microphone. That's just back up a little bit.
You good.
You sure?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm coming back to some. Is that better?
Yeah. Step back just a little bit. Yep.
It's like on a truck. It's like an 18-wheeler, like on a receiver. But we hear you.
Okay. So for Christmas, my son wanted an iPhone 12. And instead of, getting on a monthly plan with Verizon, I took the money and opened up a Roth IRA for him. So he took most of the money and put it into one mutual fund and some ETFs. He has a little bit of cash left over. And now he's kind of like, I want to do something with it, but I don't know what. And I told him, I said, I think the market is going to take a little dip after all this craziness that's going on right now. So we might want to wait. So I just need to kind of know, am I correct in my thinking about wait for the dip? And then what should he look forward to investing into next?
How old?
Yeah, I would say, first of all, YouTube, man, you can't please them. Last week, everybody said Ian mic was too low. Now they like, yo, his mic is too low. We're going to have that at Ian's microphone, so you can never complain about Ian's mic being low ever again.
Yeah, we're going to have to
make sure bring my cloud lifter. Yeah. let me get the laptop off you.
But that's a great call. I'll let Ian speak on too. But for my, I mean, it depends on your strategy. I definitely think that the stock market will pull back at some point. It's been at pretty much all-time highs for a couple of months now, really trending at that space. The economy is still not in great shape. Coronavirus is still readily terrorizing this whole country. Yep. Unemployment is still crazy. A lot of people are going to lose their homes. That's the real estate market. That's another situation. So I say that to say we have a lot of problems. We'll probably get another stimulus, which will help. But I think that it will pull back. But if you pick something that you feel comfortable with for the long term, like if I always talk about it because I just feel so confident in it. But like a QQ, I don't think you can go wrong. I don't know how old your son is, but if you're talking about a Roth
he's 19.
IRA,
he's a college freshman.
Yeah, he's good.
Good. He got 46 years before he turns 65, which is quote unquote the retirement age for most people these days. 59 is the age for the IRS, but most people don't retire until they're like 65 years old. So I mean, he has over 40 years to let the money just work for him. So you put that.
Trust me, we're going to hold what he has. I've been investing for a while. People ask me how I do it. I honestly still don't know, but I buy and hold. But I've never invested in ETFs. I've only done mutual funds and individual stocks and REITs. And I started an investment club with some friends like 10, 11 years ago. And we've been doing the same thing. We just buy and hold.
Okay, let me ask you, which stocks is your son in? And I can give you an easy answer.
So he's not in any individual stocks.
Okay, well, which mutual funds?
The one mutual fund that he picked is FKDNX.
Where'd he get that from?
So that one.
That's good. Yeah. If he does that, Franklin Templeton or Apple, he's good. At 19?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest. Now, of course, I'm not an advisor. If it's all of his money that he ever has in life or the last that you guys have, don't do it. But even if you buy some of these companies at the top, if you give it 2 years, it's going to break the high. You'll be fine. I don't want you to because it destroys some of your alpha. But the quality is going to rise. You're good, especially at 19. I wish I had somebody at 19 telling me to get into the market. He's good. Just make sure he holds it till 29.
The ETFs he bought is 4 of them. It's VGT.
Good. Okay.
QQQN.
Not bad for his age. Go ahead.
FSTA.
SSTA. Silver Star.
F as in Frank or Fidelity. It's called Fidelity.
FSTA. Good.
And the last one is XLY.
He's good.
Oh, yeah.
He's good. He's good across the board.
He's lined up.
He's good.
He's good.
He's lined up.
You have nothing to worry about.
Okay, I gave him a long list and he picked.
To me, thank you. And I would just add that since you bought him the iPhone 12, I mean, you might as well invest in the company that you already spent money with. Respectfully.
Respectfully. Yeah. You're good. And if it doesn't pan out in a year, come back on here. Let me know. I'll cash out before it. He's good.
I didn't buy the phone. I took the money that I was going to buy the phone with.
I can respect that.
I didn't buy the phone.
All right. Thanks, Mom.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They killed me last week for not doing charts. Can we do charts for like 5 minutes?
Yo, Ian, let's go.
Hold on, but is Notre Dame independent or not?
He owe me. So he owe me. He gonna owe me.
What?
That's sidebar. The independent.
The independent.
Just remember,
Franklin Templeton.
What would they got?
You guys owe a major check, man. Franklin Dynatech Fund. I wonder how many people invested in that Franklin Dynatech Fund.
You probably ran it up.
Yeah.
Ran it up.
A few.
Yeah. I need my PC off that.
All right, Ian, we going to charts?
Yeah, let's do charts real quick. I'm gonna run through the Dow 30 real quick.
Let's do it. I'm gonna make you the host, bro. Actually, make you the co-host.
Thank you kindly. Since I ain't getting on that text thread earlier, y'all all through Miami playing the We the Best stock division. I see. Like, dang. I'm gonna run through the Dow 30 real quick. I know you guys are gonna be like, "Hey, you went too fast." When I'm going through charts, this is just how I normally chart. It's nothing personal. Stock club members, you already know the vibes. I appreciate you. I'm gonna just tell you. I'm gonna say yay or nay if the stock is good. So I'll do the entire Dow 30 because I meant to do it last year and didn't do it. American Express, okay. I like Visa a lot better. Apple, absolutely amazing. Yes. Boeing, do not like it anymore. Let's look at Caterpillar. Caterpillar is amazing. Let's do Cisco. Cisco is, I do not like it. Let's do Chevron. Until they convert over, no, I do not like them. Let's do Exxon. Oh, baby. Death rail. Nope. Goldman Sachs, amazing. Home Depot, absolutely amazing. To anybody in construction and real estate, why are you not buying Home Depot and Lowe's?
Why
You're
not?
spending money there anyway. IBM.
Why not?
Death on wheels. No good. Intel, AMD, NVIDIA, better. They are not doing bad. It wouldn't be the first one that I like, but they're okay. Johnson & Johnson is solid, even though they poisoned our people. What do they say? They allegedly poison people. I don't want us to get sued. Coca-Cola is good. It's going to pull back. It moves a little bit slower. Give it some time. It's a great 10-year hold. JP Morgan, I like a lot. Kudos, Jamie Dimon.
Yeah.
McDonald's, yes.
Can we throw up Alibaba since they're going to be reporting tomorrow morning?
Yep, Alibaba is solid. It should break this high by end of year. They should be at 400 and maybe 14, 15 months.
They found Jack Ma.
Thank the Lord. 3M, do not like. Merck, nope. Microsoft, baby, oh baby, I love her. Nike, absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Pfizer, do not like. Procter & Gamble, don't like. I don't know why Travelers is still in here. No. United Health, solid. It's too high right now. UTX, no. Hell no.
I got one more for you, Ian. And I heard my man Josh talk about it, and me and Jamal spoke about it way back in March. One of my favorite companies because I love going to concerts, spend a lot of money. Obviously, with COVID, they haven't been any concerts.
Live Nation.
There it is.
What's the ticker?
LYV.
They're doing good. And then, I mean, Hove there, so we can't say nothing bad about it. I don't want to be like, yo, we would have did the deal, but he was talking bad about Live Nation, and Rashad gonna have the meanest East Orange screw face on me. Nope, won't do it. But Live Nation is solid. Well, I mean, but we said on the show it's gonna take 3 or 4 years to bounce back, and they're positioned well. WBA, no. Walmart is absolutely amazing. I don't know why more people aren't buying Walmart and then Disney, but everybody who's been holding Disney for since 100, kudos to you. Shout out to my guy Drew who just had his baby. I appreciate you. And Disney is amazing. So that's a Dow 30. Travelers, I don't like. Yeah.
The company you believe in.
Yeah, man. They went back down as 162. If you got it down at the 162, congrats.
Yeah,
you guys just hold. I'm telling you, like super cheat code. Man, just hold somebody. And I know you guys get tired of me saying it. For those of you who don't know me who think I'm just some talking head, I just put on the suit. I actually really do this. I'm telling you, like, I wish I would have been told that 10 years is a cheat code. Like, you go back and look at all the friends that you had, relationships that you had, clothes that you bought, cars, no value. And then you could have been in some of these companies. Now, let me run off this book list real quick. Technical Analysis Explained.
Oh, that's my book. That's my book right there. I read that book when I was like 17.
Now let's get technical. Introduction to Credit Risk Modeling. It's a dense read. Add it to your list. Thank you. Number 3. So I'm gonna go heavy. Read this on the ISDA. Risk assessment, because you guys have to manage risk. I don't care how well you can trade, but if you can't keep the money in your portfolio, you're gonna get your ass kicked.
Yeah, can you talk the ISDA for people that's listening to the podcast that might not be watching YouTube? Can you just bring that book so we can just read it to the people?
Yes, I can. And I'll say it slow in my sultry voice. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. The 2016 is the ISDA. Okay, so yeah.
I want you guys to Google what it ISDA is. Our guy Josh Brown, his book How I Invest My Money.
How to Invest My Money.
Yep. This book, the credit
default swap basis.
Yes.
Ian acting like this is his last game. This might be the last time you see him.
Credit derivatives. Please read this book.
On our all the stop.
Because that's the homework by next week. Read all of them.
Yep. You need to read this book as well.
Credit default swaps.
There is a reason I am going in this order. And there's a reason that I want you guys to read this. Because when we have this next pullback, okay. And for my institutional and hedge fund traders, you already know what I am alluding to. And then this is the last one by Scaramucci, the little book of hedge funds.
I have that book.
Pretty solid. No, I ain't going nowhere. I'll talk about I'm a star over here. Shit, I ain't going nowhere.
They said you put up 81 tonight, man.
Thank you. I'm trying to.
It's not your walk away game, and you left it all on the court, man. I don't know.
No, I'm bringing this big panda energy all season. Like last year, I was gonna be humble and like, let me bring my case and my little thesis. And we get into it this year. I'm aware of my value, so I'm gonna make the public aware as well, in the most humble and gracious way. I promise you that.
Right. Breaking news alert. Market Mondays is the number 14 business podcast. Let's get it up into the top 10, if not number 1 and 2. Let's get it up there, y'all.
Number 14 in the world right now. Number 14 in the world.
That's crazy. The world.
We didn't break 10 grand tonight.
We
Not yet.
close.
Oh, we got.
We
Oh,
got
I'm
the-
glad you said that. Shout to Ken.
What up, though? Detroit.
He's donating $500 just on some
Detroit.
whoever needs help whoever needs help vibe. So we'll do that at the end. We'll do that at the end. But I don't want to forget that. I don't want to forget that. Market Mondays, man, the biggest investment show, the biggest stock show. I mean, it's not just my opinion. It's number 14 on Apple. I don't think that there's any investment shows ahead of that.
I mean, if you look at the names that's
Apple's not really doing it. It's doing it a disservice because it's business is too broad of a category. Because there's no way you should have Earn Your Leisure and Market Mondays in the same category. They're two different things. Earn Your Leisure is a broad range business show that talks about music, trucking, vending machines, all kinds of stuff. Where Market Mondays is a specific stock and investment show. Like they're really two different things.
No, it just means I gotta go harder.
That's all right.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good. It's all good. I'm just saying, but I say to say we're definitely the biggest investment show in the world right now, and moving up the chart rapidly. So
look at the names.
This your man's. Yeah. GameStop trash. I know some of y'all were killing me. And you don't know the thesis of why it went up, and we're going to revolt against. Bro, okay. 143 coming. And when that 26 come. Okay. Okay. While y'all was trading GameStop, can you put yes in chat if any of you went and bought anything from GameStop this past 5 days?
Ooh.
Gonna be difficult.
Gonna be tough. That's a good one to answer.
Let's at least do the cash app. I mean, the gift card giveaway, and let's do one stock club membership, even though we didn't get to 10 grand.
Okay.
Oh man, that was a spam. I don't even know how they do that fast.
So let's do some cash apps. We'll do the 500. Once again, shout out to Ken. Today's giveaway is donated by Ken, a legend in Detroit, firefighter.
Lifesaver.
Solid dude, man. Solid dude. So he is sponsoring tonight's cash giveaway. So we'll pick.
Yeah, I'll grab one off YouTube.
Yeah, there's like 99 plus already.
Yeah, let's do a few. We'll do a few on EYL University, and then we'll do a few on YouTube. So
Janet, you got me?
Cash app your life away.
Give me like 5, Janet.
Cash app your life away right now.
Please, thank you. And shout out to all the teachers out there. Shout out to all the teachers in the Northeast that had a snow day today, man. Shout out to all the New York City teachers. Shout out to my New Rochelle family. Thomas, Herrera, what up? Shout out to the entire Love Committee. Jill, what up? Y'all greatly appreciate it. I know this is a crazy time, but y'all are persevering. I told you, y'all are the true heroes. I admire y'all every day. So I'm gonna keep going for y'all.
And I'm working on my mail RBF. So by like week 6, I'll have it down. Andy, I sent yours. If there's any single parents that need help, can you put yours in so I can help you and bless you tonight?
And Jenna, you can just send us a few people from EYLU. I'm taking a couple screenshots from YouTube, and we'll do it like that. Ian, so you want to do something?
Yeah, Dave Portnoy took our Barstool idea and made it better. So we really gotta give a big bag away this year. He's been donating to small business owners, so he'll call them up on FaceTime and donate to them, which is dope. Like he did it, but like we can't get off stage. Shout out to everybody at Barstool, Wallow, Gilly. So
shout out to Wallow. He called me yesterday, man. Good dude, man.
How he had an energy? What do you put in them smoothies? You know, his energy be on 10. He got that Xander energy. I'm like, my Lord, I wish I need that.
20 years down, now you finally
know
free.
what, man? When you do 20 years in jail, you don't take anything for granted, and you appreciate every moment. He's like, yo, I spent 20 years when I was 16 years old. We go to jail for 20 years. You get out at 36 years old. You got to make the most of every single moment. Man.
Running and gunning.
That's a fact. So shout out to Wallow, man. That's my guy. Yeah.
There's any single parents that need help before we wrap up? Because I know Rashad want to go because they about to go get on the yacht with Calla and Jigga. And I'm not there again. I was in a cold environment.
We the best.
The best.
We got a funny story about that. So I'll tell you after this.
You don't know.
You don't know who we know.
No, that's a great quote.
Yeah, shout out to Joey Crack. You never know. Ian, we lost him. We lost Ian. Ian, are you there?
Yo, Ian going. You don't have to say
Down goes Frazier. I don't know what happened to Ian.
Damn, they kicked him out.
Ian, are you there?
Nah, bro, he gone.
He exited stage left.
Well, he didn't end the show.
Too much gems, man. Check on him, hopefully. Check on the brother, man.
He said Panda out. Boom.
Yo, man, they got the FBI at the bro's door.
After 81 points, that's what happens,
They
bro.
said, nah.
Nope.
Nope. Shout out to Ian, man. Wherever you are in the world right now, bro.
Prayers up, bro. Prayers up, bro.
Yo, they took Ian. That's crazy.
Yo, not after that performance. Yo, man.
Oh,
I guess
man.
we'll close it out.
We'll close it out. Don't worry about it, man.
We'll take it.
Shout out to everybody in the super chat. Shout out to our guy Tay on the super chat. Love going crazy. Shout out to the credit dude. Good brother right there. Shout out to Corey. Appreciate you, bro. And once again, let's give you the rundown of this week. We got our crypto and Forex episode tomorrow with Justin. Shout out to Justin Owens. He's back.
He's back.
I'm like, damn, man, I try to put up 81. Then kick off the team. Man, I was about to call Jamal and Matt. Like, hey, man, we got to negotiate. What's going on?
I thought they did a Jack Ma to you.
They pulled the plug on you,
man. No, whatever companies I talked about, I was just reflecting my personal opinion on stock. Hey, it is not the advice or insight of any of my colleagues. Please don't come for me. Please don't.
So, Ash, we got to give a shout out to Ash Cash, EYL Network. His show premieres on Thursday at 8:00. He's been working extremely hard on that show. Ash is a different dude, man. He's a perfectionist.
He a different level of energy too.
Yeah,
different level.
So I'm excited. The vault,
inside the vault
premieres on our YouTube channel and all podcast outlets this Thursday at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. Shout out to Ash Cash.
He coming out swinging too. First episode, he coming out swinging.
Yeah, he got a big one.
He got
big
a
one.
set. Like
he got a set,
real.
And he coming out out the gate swinging.
No. He didn't pull any punches with that, man. Shout out to Ash. Shout out to MG the Mortgage Guy. He's doing a house hacking webinar for EYLU and a Homebuyers Blueprint at 7:00. And we got that chart class.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
On Wednesday.
The group chat.
What time?
8:00.
What time?
8:00.
7:00 your time.
Yeah, just how our group chat goes.
Some 101.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna pull up and play some bully ball.
One of my friends called me today and he was like, "Yo, I finally did it. I finally opened a stock account. Finally did it." He was like, "But this might be a stupid question. Like, how do I start? Like, what's the 101?" And I think that he's not alone. Sometimes it just flies so quickly, and some people just starting at they don't know nothing. So try and just help everybody get to where they need to be. And sometimes you just gotta hold people's hand and just start from zero.
That's dope.
And just work it up from there.
Yeah.
So
shout out to Chuck. Chuck, what up? Our young boy out in Greenberg. What up, Chuck? He actually opened up his account.
I'm sliding through at 7 p.m.
All right, let's do it. He hit me today
with no soup.
Well, so Chuck, love is love, bro. I love that you started, but I told you it's only the beginning, man. We're gonna go way up with this thing. So
Ian, what would you like to say? Give you the last word.
I appreciate you guys for being so.
By the way, I want you to check out the episode tomorrow. I know you're not the biggest fan of Forex, but Justin is somebody.
My guy cooking though.
Oh, you know
him? He cooking.
Yeah. I want you to check that episode out. I just want your feedback because I was listening to it. I'm like, yo, this is a lot of great information. The crypto space, he gave a lot of great information. So it's not something that we've talked about. But like I said, we just had to provide information. And it is a market. It is a market. At the very least, people should be educated. If you are going to jump in these different groups and, at least be educated what you're doing. So I would love to hear your feedback on that.
Yeah, he's solid. I like him. There's a few people in the space. Him, Ryan Miller. There's a couple people that's legit. It's just a bunch. This is my thing with trading and investing because it's so hot. He can actually trade. Majority of the people that talk about Forex can't. That's my end all be all. It's a lot of people who talk about options and it's great. You guys have been doing options for 93 years and you're not taking care of your kids. Like, you're capping. But for people that can actually trade, I'm all for it. Like, I don't care what you guys trade, because truth be told, we don't own any of the assets. So no, I'm not trying to be funny, but it's like dudes be talking
take care of your kids. Take care of your kids.
Like they're kingpins and be on Clubhouse all day, and then it's like you won't send your kid 500 for nothing. But you want to king everybody to death. Like stop.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to like my take, but like when you look up, like, Xander's not hurting for anything. If I do nothing else and that's my greatest accomplishment, so be it.
Yeah.
So,
and it's
no, also
when he was talking about Fibonacci and support and resistance, it's the same stuff we talk. Yeah. So like you said, you trade one thing, you can trade anything.
If you can trade, I don't care what you trade, whether you're institutional. Shout out to Bonawyn. Because Bonawyn was like, yo, you got a hedge fund set up as a retail trader. Like, if you can trade, you can see whether a person is legit or BS by asking 4 or 5 questions. So you guys can trade fibs, like, and use them to trade Jordans or real estate or water. So if you know your stuff, you know it regardless of what the asset class is. I just like futures because it pays the most. So if I'm gonna do all that work and all that chart review, I want the biggest bang for my buck. But no, I like him, and we probably gonna. Yeah,
that's my guy. We'll come into that.
He's solid. Yeah, he's solid. Holla at me, my guy.
All right. Ian, you got the last word, bro.
Rashad got the face. You want to wrap up? As always, I want to thank you guys for being solid. Shout out to all my Red Panda fam. Shout out to my family. Red Panda fam, I appreciate you. We'll do Stock Club call after, and we'll do that in Trading After Dark back to back. Everybody I met in Rockwood in New York, I appreciate you. My guy who came and gave me that fire haircut, I appreciate you. Put out them videos. It's your accountability check-in. Invest for the long term, hold for 10 years. If you're going to trade, master trading. And I'll say this too, for a lot of you that are upset or you like attack people online, being frustrated as someone else, as a man, is not going to make you a better trader or investor. Dig in deep. Like, you may not like my position or my thesis on stuff, so be it. But I'll be real. People who can actually trade and who can invest don't give a damn what anybody else says. So just lock in on what you want to. For all of you that have tuned in, I appreciate you. If any of the single moms still need help, please let me know so I can help. And can you have Janet give me an email so I can put somebody in Stock Club and bless somebody? But I love you guys. Thank you for being amazing. I can't wait to shoot the next one in person. And then if I see you, Hove, and Fat Joe on a jet, I'm a freak out. So if I need to get on the G2 and teleport to the ball, you never know. You never know. So let me know. But no, I appreciate y'all.
Real quick, last thing, because I've seen a lot of messages. Listen, if you see any solicitation on YouTube that is telling you to go to WhatsApp or any other platform to talk about trading Bitcoin,
it's not us.
That is not us. That is not us. We would never tell you to go to YouTube, to go to WhatsApp and submit. They don't know us. They don't know us. It's not Troy. It's not Rashad. It's nobody with the EYL team. Please, we've been reaching out to Google. We've been reaching out to YouTube to take that down, that spam down. Please do not fall for that. Please tell a friend to get them out of here. I know somebody's like, yo, we got this WhatsApp. Yeah. That's not us. They're not affiliated. Please do not fall for that.
So what happens is that.
And if anyone tells you you trade for me and for 3,000 and send me Bitcoin, I am not trading for nobody for no 3,000. But I'm not going to have them send Bitcoin. Please be careful. Those scam farms are huge. Yeah. Be careful.
So what happens is that these people, it's a little confusing because they put the picture and the icon of Earn Your Leisure, right. And the name says Earn Your Leisure. But if you go to their page, it'd be like 2 people like that, like two subscribers. It's not our page. So do not get tricked. We are not soliciting anybody for any money. We're not giving any $5,000 giveaway, nothing like that. On Instagram, on YouTube.
Anyway.
Do not lose your money. If you do lose your money, I don't know what to tell you, but it's not us.
Please be careful. Yeah. Please verify first. Yeah.
Financial literacy is under attack. Financial literacy is under attack from a variety of different sources. And it's these scams, these bots, all of this is something that definitely is concerning. It's unfortunate, but it's not really too much that we can do about it right now.
Yeah. Yeah, so shout out to everybody.
Considerable risk. Please consult your advisor.
all my people in the Northeast, everybody in New York, be safe. Hopefully, you are staying safe and staying warm. Don't go outside if you don't have to. And while you're inside, invest in your education. Read. Reach out to somebody. Especially in these times where it's very cold and people need shelter, and a lot of people don't have that. So reach out to somebody. Make sure that they're doing well. And as always, man, love is love. We will see you again on Wednesday. We out.
Peace.
Y'all about to go shoot Bad Boys 3, ain't it?
Coming soon.
All right, y'all.